There we go. All right.
All right, back in business. So we're talking about steps to success and duplication. And so ever since I joined this business, I've had this printed out. There is a reason that our business is built on this. This is how it started. People have been doing this since the beginning. It's called the steps to success because it's the exact roadmap that you need to be successful. Same reason that we have charts. You have to have a roadmap. You have to know exactly where you're going. And so every month I get my steps to success printed out and I fill out my customers and distributors and I fill out on the back the extra. So this was last month. I fill in all of the customers that I enroll and I write down what they order. I write down my distributors and then I number on the back to how many distributors and customers I want to enroll. So last month I made a goal to enroll 35 distributors and I enrolled 36. I made a goal to enroll 34 customers and I enrolled 31. And so whatever you speak out there is what you're going to naturally start working towards. And so every single month I've got this out. I could literally go back to the months that I promoted and see who I enrolled, when I enrolled them. And really the purpose of this is just for you to have a roadmap. That's all it is. And so I think there's power in the fact that that's what they built our company off of. It's obvious that it works. I do a contest for my team every single month based on steps to success because it's something that you have to be working towards. The months that I did not print this out because I'm human, okay? And if you go in this stack, there are steps to success that are missing, and those are probably the lowest enrollment months that I've had because I didn't know where I was going. And so we're gonna go ahead and kick this off with us three kind of breaking down what our steps to success looks like, you know, how we feel like that's given us success in the business. And some of the most influential leaders in this business that I look up to personally are steps to success enrollers. How many of y'all have heard of Sherry Lynn Alcala, #2 income earner in our entire company, has the most incredibly massive organization and literally has enrolled steps to success since she got started in the business however long ago, a long time ago. Christy Christensen, #3, maybe #2, they flip-flop a lot. She's also a steps to success enroller. And so it's all about understanding just the duplication of that. And so Claire, we're going to go ahead and kick it off with you. You can just kind of introduce yourself just a little bit because I don't think we've actually shared stories and I feel like this is probably a good time to do that. And then you can go right on into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually think it's kind of fun that we're sharing stories on Steps to Success Night because I just feel like the Steps to Success proves that absolutely anyone can be successful in this business. And so do our stories, right? Because we all have different stories and different backgrounds. So my name is Claire Flores. I've been with It Works. It'll be 6 years in July. So I'm coming up on my 6th anniversary, which is so crazy to think about. But I got started because I got married really young. I feel like that sounds weird, but it's true. So I met my husband in college. I was 17 years old when we met. I was 18 when I walked down the aisle and said I do to him. So I was 25 by the time we had our 4th baby. And I just was at a place in life where I was like, okay, I've got no college degree. I've got no real work experience. I have 4 kids under the age of 5, and I don't know what I'm going to do like for our finances. And Brian was working really hard. He's always been a hard worker, but he was working like over 50 hours a week. He was getting up to go to work before I was getting the kids up in the morning and then coming home as I was putting them to bed. And I was like, this isn't what I signed up for. Like I didn't marry my college sweetheart at 18 years old, like just to never see him. And so I wanted a way to bring in extra money so that I could have more time with him. I saw Alyssa posting on Instagram about her business, and I had seen her story. I'd seen her go from a teen mom struggling, and I knew that she was struggling, to taking vacations and living this life on the beach. And I just was like, okay, I need to take a look at this. And I watched her for 15 months and I let every excuse in the book talk me out of getting started. So I felt like I wasn't cute enough, outgoing enough. I didn't have my life together enough. I didn't wear like cool enough clothes. I felt like she was always dressed so beautifully and I wasn't. And like, I just, all the things, I had all the crazy excuses until one day, just everything kind of hit the fan and I just decided to give it a go. And within my first month, I was able to pay for groceries for our family of 6. And that was massive. And my second month, I paid for our rent. And my 4th month, I got a paycheck that was equivalent to what Brian was getting at that job that he was not happy at, that he was working 50 plus hours a week. And I said, quit your job. And he did. And this business has just been the biggest blessing for our family ever since. It's carried us through a lot of really hard times and into some really good ones too. So, we're just so grateful. So now I'm ambassador, I'm Triple 2.0, and I love this business. I love this business. I love that there's something to always keep pushing for. And that's why Steps to Success is so amazing. There is constantly something to keep working for. And I feel like what I love about that is you're able to constantly stay hungry, but you have something to manage your hunger with your Steps to Success. So here's the thing. Are there any perfectionists in the house? Like, let me know in the chat. Give me a 2 in the chat if you're a perfectionist, okay? Give me a 2 in the chat if you're a perfectionist. I am a perfectionist. I will keep working until I think it's perfect, which it's never perfect. So I will just work myself into the ground. Steps to Success gives me this framework. It gives me this knowledge of this is what I need to do every single month to stay on target. If I want to fill it out 2 times or 3 times, that's fine. But as long as I filled it out at least once, I know that I've done what I need to do to move my business forward. But what I'm going to tell you, and Shay kind of touched on it, is you will, and Mike Patillo said this to me in Costa Rica, and it stuck with me. He looked at me and he said, people will rise or they will fall to the standard that you set for them. And I don't know if that's an original Mike Patillo quote or if it's from somewhere else, but when Mike said it, it just sounded really cool because of the way that he talks. But he was like, they're going to rise or they're going to fall to the standard that you set for them. And I remember just thinking to myself, like, that is so true. We rise or we fall to the standard that we set for ourselves. And that has been really true in my business. So if your standard is Steps to Success, you will meet it. If you do not complete your Steps to Success, if you're on here, and there's no shame because we're going to turn it around tonight, but if you're on here tonight and you're going, I don't remember the last time I completed my Steps to Success, okay? 6 customers, 3 distributors. I don't remember the last time I did both of those at the same time, okay? If you're sitting here and you're saying, I don't remember that, it's because you didn't set your standard for it. That's it. You can't argue with me. Don't try to argue with me. That's the answer. You didn't set your standard for that. If your standard was set for your Steps to Success, you would complete them. Can I tell you why? Because last month I was sitting on the last day of the month and I had signed 1 distributor and like 12 customers. My Steps to Success were not completed. I ended the month with 5 distributors and 12 customers. Wish I'd gotten 1 more because then I would have had 2 Steps to Success. Yes, that chewed at me, but I've already made up for it this month. But because my standard was Steps to Success, I was not willing to close out the month until my steps had been completed. And it just wasn't negotiable for me. There was no room for negotiation. And completing my Steps to Success every single month of my business has been a non-negotiable for me since day 1, because the very first month that I joined, Alyssa showed me that piece of paper that Shay just showed you. Mine looks different now because we have like a cute one for our team, but she showed me that piece of paper and that's what I was like, okay, I'll do that. And so I just did it every single month. And so whether there's a kit deal, whether there's a special, whether there's an opportunity, 3 distributors, 6 customers, no matter what, that's your minimum, that's your bottom line, that's your bottom number. And the reason why it's so important, and I feel like Shay and Morgan will probably go more into this, but the reason why Steps to Success is so incredibly important is because that is how you know that you have fresh life in your business, how it's moving forward. So if you're only bringing in distributors every single month, you will have no volume. Right? Obviously, you're teaching your new distributors to get customers, but you will be lacking in the area of collecting your fast start bonuses. You'll be lacking in the area of your own personal bonuses. You'll be lacking in the area of higher up volume, which you're going to get paid more on. And then if you're not bringing in those new distributors, but you're signing 75 loyal customers, you might have a little beefed out volume, but it's not going to stay. It's not going to last when you don't have that compound effect from having new distributors in your organization as well. So you have to have both. They work together for a reason, and they're both so vitally important to each other for a reason. So I just wanted to say one last thing about this, and I'm going to pass it over. But one thing that is so important is get loud with your teams about this. So I just want to say something in like we're all in this together kind of spirit. And this isn't a negative thing, but this is a fact. And it's something that I'm just saying to you as one leader to another in this business and in this company. Our company has to be loud about the 1% that brings in the crazy numbers of enrollments, because that's what continues to get those people moving. And we know that 20% of the people does 80% of the work, and you've got to praise, yell at, throw confetti at the 20% so that the 20% keep cranking because they're doing 80% of the work. But 80% of us are doing our steps to success every single month, and we don't get confetti and we don't get firecrackers and we don't get our names called out on every Sunday night call. But we're over here, steps to success, steps to success, steps to success. And there's nothing wrong with the fact that steps to success isn't getting yelled at as loud as the 20%. Don't let yourself get bitter for even a second. That's what they have to do. That's a good thing. We want that. We all are striving for that confetti. We want that. We need something to reach for. If we were just over here like, yeah, steps to success is great, that's all you need to do every single month, then we're all going to slow down to that, right? Because you rise or you fall to the standard that's set for you. And if there's a crazy high standard set for you, we're all going to be pushing for it. So there's nothing wrong with that. We're going to keep pushing for that. But steps to success, you as a leader, even if you have one distributor on your team, which you should have at least 3 by the time we finish the month because you've done your steps to success, you will look at your team and say, okay, let's do steps to success. And you're going to make a big deal out of it. And you're going to blow the confetti and you're going to blow the foghorn for the steps to success on your team because you're going to call out the behavior that you want to continue to see. So on my team, we have top enrollers and we have steps to success enrollers, and they both get shouted out in the same place at the beginning of the month because it is something that is just so powerful. And it's something that we want to call out more of what we're wanting to see. So anyway, that was just what I wanted to say about that really quickly, is that make sure that you are celebrating steps to success in your own business, in your teammates' businesses, and that it's something that you're being allowed about because it will continue to move your business forward. But the one thing, if there's only one thing you take away from what I said before I pass it over to the other girls, is needs to be your bottom line standard. You don't close out a month without completing your steps to success, period. And don't say, well, what if I get to the end of the month and I didn't do it? No, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. You sign your steps to success every single month. That's who you are. That's what you do, bare minimum. And you're not going to go to bed at the end of the month until it's complete. And it'll complete. Those distributors will come to you because they know that they belong there because you were supposed to complete your steps to success. Put it to the test, make the decision, and just watch it. It works so well. It's like magic.
I love those tips so much because I feel like when I look back at any months that I have done really well, it's because from the beginning, I set that goal. And then every day I ask myself, how can I get closer to this goal? I'll never forget, it was November of last year. It's when they announced Premiere. And I was like, I have got to put on my enrolling pants. Okay, I've got to figure this out. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know how I'm going to be top 25 income earner when I'm not even close. And I'm sure you'll remember, I got loud on my social media and I was like, I'm enrolling 50 people this month. I do not know how it's going to happen. And that's far beyond steps to success, but I'm just talking about the goal that I was speaking. Every day I woke up and said, how can I get 2 more? How can I get 3 more? What can I do today that's going to actively get me in conversation with people? If I wouldn't have set that goal, I don't know how many distributors I would have enrolled because the month before I got 4. So that month when I said 50, I ended up getting 54 distributors, and it's because I spoke it out every day. Every single day I was setting out that intention, figuring out what I was going to do to fill in the gaps of how I was going to get to that goal. And so that's what steps to success is if you don't do anything at all the whole month, if you do not promote, if you don't set up your promotions, if you don't hit, goals for other people, you've completed your steps to success. You've got new people into the business, and every single person that you enroll is the next person that could be the person that changes your entire business out of those 3. And so that's the most exciting part about it. So Morgan, you can go ahead and jump into it.
Hi. Okay. So my story is I joined this business in 2014. And I was 20 years old, broke college student, struggling, living paycheck to paycheck. I had just moved across the country. I grew up in Mississippi, but now I live in Michigan. So I had just moved up here whenever I started. And I saw this girl posting on Instagram about the products. And I was like, there's no way that those are actually real. There's no way that stuff works. And I kept seeing her post. She was consistent, and I saw it over and over again. And I thought to myself, okay, well, I don't think they're going to work for me, but I might as well try because I just really want to gain confidence because I'd gained a lot of weight. I really wanted to feel better about myself. And so I tried the wraps. I was obsessed with the wraps, loved the way that, they worked. And so I found out that I could do this business too. She was posting about the income that she was making. And I was like, like, holy cow, if she can make that income from her phone while she's in school, because she was in college at the time too, then I thought, well, I can make $100 a month. And I really never joined to do what she did. I didn't think that was possible for me. I thought she was this unicorn that was making like $1,000 a month from her phone. I thought there's no way I could make that much, but I just wanted $100, and that was going to help me not put gas and groceries on credit cards anymore. And so I joined, and I didn't know what I was doing, didn't have any experience, didn't have any extra time, but I said yes because I was tired of all those being reasons why I was stuck. And I didn't want to be in the same place a year from then than I was right then. So I decided, you know what, I have nothing to lose. So I said yes, pay the $99 that I didn't have. And it's totally changed my life in every stinking way. We've been able to, I quit my job 14 months into this business. I was able to replace my full-time income. I was working 65 hours at the time, so I got to quit both jobs at the same time. It was literally the best day ever. Then a year later, I was able to replace my now husband's income. And now he gets to do a job that he loves because he's passionate about it, not because he's chasing a paycheck, which is so fun for us. And then we've also been able to, we got engaged, so we were able to pay for our wedding and our honeymoon in cash because of this business. We paid off over 6 figures in debt. We built our dream home. We have a baby on the way. We just bought all of this stuff for his nursery. We didn't have to blink an eye or have to put it on a credit card. We were able to pay all of those things and get exactly what we wanted. And we didn't have to wait for a shower. We were just able to purchase those things because that's what we needed and what we wanted. So I just feel so thankful. And now I get to be a stay-at-home mom in November with our baby. And I'm so pumped. And I never joined this business for that. I was 20 years old, was not even dating whenever I started this business. And now I'm married with a baby on the way. And it's been so much more than just $100 a month for us. So super thankful. And that's my story. So I love this topic about steps to success because what Claire said is so true. It's simple, guys. Like, this business really is so simple. And she's talking about getting customers, talking about getting distributors. And I love that we saved this for the end, because if you're like, well, I don't know how to get those customers and how to get those distributors, that's what we talked about the last 2 nights. So if you need a refresher, or if you missed those last 2 nights, go back and look at the recordings. They're on my YouTube channel. Go watch those, because it's going to tell you how to get the 6 and how to get the 3. But I love what Claire said about why that's super important. And then I want to take it a step further for those of you who feel like you do the work, but you feel like your team isn't doing their steps. Like, you're showing up, you may be mass enrolling, or you might be doing your steps, but you don't feel like your team is. Put a 3 in the chat if you're like, that's me. I feel like I'm showing up and I'm doing the work, but my team isn't. And this isn't like poo-poo on them, okay? Like, this is just, I'm going to give you some tips on how to help you, because you might be the roadblock to why they're not showing up, okay? So little backstory for me, I started this business. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't really have an enroller who helped me much. And I just was figuring all this out for myself. And it took me a long time to be unselfish, okay? Because I was a very selfish leader at first in this business. And I was like, okay, if I can just enroll a bunch of people, then I'll be able to make these fast starts. I'll be able to make this money, and I'll be able to do this and this. Went diamond, didn't have anyone on my team working when I went diamond. So I just assumed that that's how I'd go double and how I'd go triple. And I can do this one-man show. I got this because I'm willing to work hard and I don't need anybody else. Wrong. wrong. Okay. So it took me a long time to learn that the hard way, but what I realized is that whether I'm a top enroller or whether I'm completing my steps to success, the real money, the real long-term sustainability of your business, and the real joy that you get out of your business is helping other people do this too. And so it's not just about you seeing how many people you can enroll. And that's why I love whenever Claire was like, if you're mass enrolling, that's great. That's awesome. Be a mass enroller. But if you're completing your steps to success, that's great too. But either way, whatever boat you're in right now, you've got to turn around and help your team. Because if you don't, then you are going to be a lone man in an ocean. And some of that for me was definitely my fault, but I pointed fingers at everybody but myself as to why that was my situation. And so there's a book called Leader Shift by John Maxwell. And he talks about in there at the very beginning, he says, if you get up to the top of a mountain and you turn around and there's no one with you, you're not a leader, you're a hiker. And so for me, that just was a gut punch. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've just been hiking this whole time and wondering why nobody else is doing anything. But I wasn't teaching them how. So maybe you're brand new on here and you're like, this doesn't even apply to me because I don't even have a team. I haven't even enrolled a single customer yet. keep this in your back pocket for later when you do have a team, and kind of think about this down the road when it does apply to you. But I know that this also does apply to so many people on here who do have teams already built, or they're trying to build a team. And I want you to realize the things that it took me a long time to realize, because I love listening to other people, because I don't want to make the same mistakes that they made, because I could just skip a lot of steps if I would just listen to their advice, right? That's why our parents tell us these things, and we just have to figure it out for ourselves. Don't do that. Okay. I'm telling you, it doesn't work the way that I tried it. Change your mindset and think, I can get so much further that by helping my team than I could go alone. Like, you can go so much farther together than you can go by yourself. So you have to turn around and help your team. And I was talking to Kelly Brown. A lot of y'all know who she is. She's amazing. And she was talking to a different leader, she was talking to me and telling me a story about her talking to this other person in the business who at that time was a triple diamond, and they were working super hard. They were like a mass enroller, enrolling all these customers, getting some distributors, but they really were just kind of spinning their wheels and staying in the same place and not moving forward. And she was like, well, do you help your team? And she said, I don't have time to help my team because I need to mass enroll because no one else on my team is mass enrolling. She said, I need to mass enroll because no one's helping me. She said, sissy, you don't have time not to help your team. You don't have time not to turn around and help your people. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, that's so true. And that's for me. And I love the way she puts it. That was not like a jab at her. That was like out of love, because I love how she just like says these things in a way that's like, I'm going to punch you in the gut, but I'm going to do it in a really sweet way. And so like, she was telling me that story about her conversation with that person. And I was like, that's me. I need to turn around and help my team, because if I don't, I'm going to keep spinning my wheels, and what I'm doing now isn't working. So what do I have to lose? And that was exactly why I joined this business, because what I was doing then wasn't working. So something had to change. And there are going to be times in your business, if they haven't happened already, where you are going to have to pivot and change what you're doing if what you're doing now isn't working. So if that's your situation right now and you're like, I'm doing all the things, I'm mass enrolling, I'm bringing in all these people, but none of them are doing anything. But are you teaching them how to do what you're doing? Are you taking the time to really mentor them? Because I didn't at first. I really wasn't. I'm just being honest with you, because I started doing that around, it was probably like, I think March or April of last year. Yes, it took me 6 years. If you want to just let me do the math for you, okay, 6 years to start doing that, but it changed everything for me. Shocker that I was like actually helping my team, and the momentum started to go on its own. And I would take my Sabbath, which is like a day off, and a lot of you might feel like you can't take a Sabbath right now because then no enrollments will happen on your team. But if you would take time to teach your team the other 6 days, you would have enrollments come in on your Sabbath. I came back from my Sabbath last week to 3 different people earning their shopping sprees in group chats. And I was like, holy stinking cow, this is it. This is what this is supposed to be like, this is residual income, right? Not where I feel like I have to work 24/7 to be able to, promote and make money. Like, you want to show your team how to do this. So here's a couple ways that I do that. Number one, get loud with your team, like Claire said about steps to success, but also get loud with your team about what's working for you. And this is where it starts with you, because you can't just be on the opposite side of this, where you help your team and tell them everything to do, but you're not doing it yourself. How are you going to help your team if you don't know what's working right now? If Rachel Simpson came to me and said, Morgan, how are you getting customers right now? I'd be like, this, and this. Go do those things. But if she came to me and I had been spending all my time telling Rachel what to do, but I wasn't getting out my host to post, I wasn't doing the things we talked about for distributors last night, I would have nothing to give her. So you have to do both. It is completing your steps to success yourself. It starts with you, but you got to take that time to turn around and help your team. So here's what I want to say, and I want to be very clear about this. If you are a mass enroller, don't apologize for that. Do not feel bad about it, and do not dumb yourself down to say, oh, I just need to complete my steps to success, and that needs to be my bare minimum. If you get those customers and those distributors and that makes you excited, do that, but not at the expense of helping your team. You can do both. And I feel like I have learned how to balance those two things. And yes, it took time, but you can have both. And it's okay if you're not a mass enroller. That's not a requirement to be successful at this business. But I'm just telling you, you've got to help your team do whatever you're doing, but get loud about what's working. And you're only going to know that if you're working yourself, if you're doing the things, if you're showing up, if you're trying new messages, if you're doing new things on Instagram and reels and TikToks and all the things on Facebook. So one thing that I do with customer duplication really quick, and then I'll give it back over to Shay. Customers, whenever I bring a distributor in, I take them through our training, and a massive part of their training and what I do with them is they send me screenshots for everything. And I tell them, do not reply to a soul without me helping you and telling you exactly what to say. Why? Because they don't know how to talk to a customer, and they're either going to feel really unconfident, and that's going to come across in their messages. They're going to feel frozen in fear of, I don't know what to say. I don't know what I'm doing. So how am I supposed to answer this question? So then they don't want to do it. And it's not going to be very fun. But if they're hearing you say exactly what to say, they learn, and they're not going to need you for forever. So they're going to start having these conversations on their own and then rolling by themselves. But you've got to show them how to do that. And if you're like, well, I don't know how to have a customer conversation, refer back to Monday night. Okay. Or whatever night that was. I think it was last night. And I talked exactly about what to do when you're talking to a customer. So take them through those conversations and make sure that you're giving them exactly what to do for customers. Give them stuff to put up on their story sometimes. I'll do that too. Like, hey, throw this up on your story today. Tell me if you get comments, I'll tell you what to do. You are walking them through everything as if they are brand new to this, because they are, and have no idea what they're doing. You have to bring yourself back to what you didn't know when you started, because oftentimes we forget about that, right? And we're like, well, they should just know what to say. So just like put up this poll. You have to tell them what to do whenever people comment and whenever people vote, right? So be super loud about that, and then empower them. At a certain point, if you keep getting screenshots and you're like, we've already been over this, like, you know what to say back. Don't be afraid to say that and be like, hey, so what would you say back to that? What would you say in this situation? Because they need to know that they're good enough. They need to know that they're better than they think they are. Because a lot of times we lack that confidence, and they still think that they need to send you screenshots a month and a half in. And at that point, usually they don't if they've been consistent. So I'll say, well, what do you think you would say? And they're like, well, I would tell them about the 90-day challenge now. I'm like, perfect. That's exactly what I would do too. See, you got this. That's how you kind of wean them off. Okay, give them that confidence boost. That's what they need. Give them those words of affirmation. Me and Shay are big words of affirmation gals. We love that, okay? Give those people those things. Tell them that they're doing a good job. For distributor duplication, when people join the business, I help them come up with their story. What was your life like now, whenever you joined this business? What are some things that you've gained from this business already? Friendships, confidence, excitement, hope. Even though they joined the business, this goes for you newbies too. Think about it this way. You joined the business yesterday, okay? You still have the same debt yesterday that you had on Monday, but now you have hope, and you didn't have that before you joined this business. You have hope as to a way that you can pay that debt off. So even though you've made no money yet, you have hope, and you can share that on your social media. And now you have $100 bonuses that you can get within your first week that you can talk about. Okay. So get loud about what your story is and talk about where you're going. People want to follow somebody that knows where they're going, so they could give two craps about where you've been, but they want to know where you're going. Relate to them, talk about what you've gained, and talk about where you're going. And I help them write that, and I have them post that on their Facebook, on their Instagram, to get people interested. The other thing that I do really quick is I give them story slides. And this is super simple. So it's literally nothing that you have to like copy from me necessarily, but it's 3 story slides. And in over, you can make these little folders. So this is it's a folder called PDT, which is potential distributor. So I made this slide, and it just says, I'm so excited. I started a new adventure from social media to better my life. Okay. I'm not as good as Shay with the graphics, but then you literally get a picture from their Facebook and you stick it on there. And then the next slide says, I watched this girl on social media bring in money from her phone. So I figured, why not me? I'm on social media anyways. Super simple. And then it says, we're looking for women who are looking to earn an extra money each month from their phone with us. Swipe up and type opportunity. I send them all of those slides. I only have to edit one of them, which is just putting their picture with it. Usually I take one day and just like send it to all my newbies. have them post that. I've had people sign 2 distributors in one day from that. I've had people sign no distributors, but either way, they're planting the seeds and they're putting that out there, and I'm being proactive and helping them find people that want to join their team. So that's one way that I help with potential distributors at first, but you've got to talk with them and be loud about what's working. It starts with you. Turn around and help your team. It's like Ashley Mayfield always says, swim down, like that scene in Finding Nemo, whenever they're like they're all in the net and they're trying to break it so they can get free, right? Swim down. If you all have the same goal, so much more is going to get accomplished than if Nemo was trying to swim down by himself with that huge net of fish. If he told everybody to swim down, took the time, even though he could have been swimming down by himself, he took the time to tell every single one of them, swim down. And they started to swim down and they started making moves in their business. And he saw the benefit of that. And so did they. So that is my tip.
So good. And I just want to offer y'all perspective. And that's really what I'm going to be talking about. As Claire talked about the power of it, Morgan talked about how you're going to teach your team to do it. And I'm going to teach you the power of duplication. Okay. So our business and every single promotion is built off of rubies, which is 3 distributors. Okay. So when I think about when I went ambassador, it's 57 rubies, 54 or 57 rubies. That's all it is. So if you can go ruby and then teach your team to get their 3 and teach your team to get their 3 and teach your team to get their 3, then you're popping rubies left and right. And before you know it, you're at the top of the company. You don't have a single clue how the heck it even happened. And that's literally what happened with me. Was I didn't have my intentions set on ambassador. I didn't join this business to be a top income earner. I didn't join this business to be an ambassador diamond. I joined this business because I had 20 cents in my account. And, a lot of you do know my story, but for those of you that don't, I didn't grow up in a life that set me up for success. The only reason that I believe that I am where I am is because I was running from everything I knew I didn't want. I didn't want to be broke. I didn't want to be on government assistance. I didn't want to put my future kids through what I went through. And so when I made that decision to run with this business, I got out a Ruby chart. I got out my steps to success. All the same things that I teach my team to do now is exactly what I did 5 years ago. And it hasn't changed. It's just about consistency and doing it every day. And when I think about the worst parts of my business, 5 months into the business, I promoted to diamond, earned a bonus, started making $2,000 a month when I was 18 years old, didn't know what to do with all this money because I was like, wait, I just came for gas money. And now I have all this money and I paid all of my college tuition. I didn't have to, stress my parents out and ask them for any money. I started taking over all of my bills. And then for 10 months, I maintained executive. I hit rock bottom in my business. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. I stopped getting on trainings. But what I never did is I never stopped showing up. I posted every day through that. I messaged every day through that. And I could even go back and show you what my steps to success looked like. It may have been just a couple customers and a couple distributors, but I never stopped. And it was those people that I enrolled in those months of my business where I felt the worst, when I would have gone back and said I was not winning at all. Like I was in my losing season. I was winning because I was enrolling. Those were the people that were on my ambassador chart. Those were the people that still work this business today because I didn't stop. So imagine if in those worst parts of my business, I wouldn't have been completing my steps to success. I would have never gone ambassador. And so every single time when I go back and look at these steps, this is July of 2018. This is when I went triple diamond. It was the hardest, craziest month of my entire life going for this promotion. It was the biggest thing I'd ever done. And when I go down this list of all these distributors, the second person I enrolled that month is Kayla Sims, triple diamond on my team. The fourth person, a diamond. This person, diamond. This person, diamond. This person, double diamond. This person, diamond. This person going triple diamond. I mean, all these people, this person, triple diamond on my ambassador chart. Do y'all see that? Do y'all see the power? This was 1 month of my enrollments, 1 month of people that changed my entire business. All 3 of my legs for ambassador on here. And then when I go 3 months later, okay, when I went presidential diamond in October, y'all, and I went triple diamond in the middle of summer. So that's also something to be excited about. But when I look at this person, double diamond, this person, double diamond, this person, diamond, all from these steps to success. And that's what I love looking at, is all because I got out this piece of paper and I started working and I showed up and I went for the next one and the next one just to fill out a blank. That's how I am here. And all because I did that. And now I teach my team to do the same thing. I had one of my triple diamonds come spend the weekend with me and she was like, who on your team that is super incredible did you not enroll? And I was like, Alicia, this person, this person, this person. And I listed off all these people that I did not enroll that carry our team, that lead this team with me, that do this business, that are the reason I am where I am. And I didn't enroll them. And so that is the power of what Steps to Success is. It's not only just a goal for you every single month. It's not just the bare minimum, non-negotiable, like Claire was talking. It's you get this person, they get their one, they get their one, they get their one, and so on and so forth. And before you know it, that's how you have Sherry Lynn Alcala's team of 250 plus diamonds that get on her diamond call. And I'm just like, that is my goals, because she just keeps getting the next one, the next one, the next one. That's duplication. And so I'm going to share with y'all a graphic that Joel Dunn made, and it was super powerful. It was in September. It was our, not September. I keep forgetting what event this was. Somebody type it in the chat. I don't know why it falls out of my mouth every time, but this is the graphic. So month 1, you complete your steps to success. So you get your 3 distributors and your 6 LCs. Month 2, those 3 distributors that you enrolled get their steps to success. So now you have 9 distributors coming into your organization and 144 customers. So let's say that 144 of those customers were all for keto coffee and chocolate greens. So now you've got 8,640 BV, and you only need about 7 more distributors to go diamond already in your second month. Third month, now you've got 27 distributors, which is almost a double diamond chart. Month 4, you've got 81 distributors, which is more than a triple diamond chart. Month 5, you have enough people to go ambassador diamond. You guys, ambassador diamond, 243 distributors. And by month 6, you have 729, which is 2 ambassador diamond charts. That could almost be 3. 6 months of you being consistent. Take a screenshot of this so that you can look in case you forget the power of what the Steps to Success does. It's not just for you. It's for you to have a basic system. Why do you think that the most incredible, I mean, think about the biggest businesses that you can think of, Amazon, Apple. They have systems, they have organization, they have things set in place that are going to ensure their success. It's the same thing. We've got charts. You need to know how to make $500 a month. You've got it. Here's your roadmap. 3 distributors, get them to be qualified, get your shopping spree, make sure you're commission qualified, and bam. Okay. You want to go to the next level, print out your steps to success and fill it in, and then do it again and do it again and do it again. It doesn't mean you only can do that once. You can do it as many times as you want. Last month, I completed it 5 times, 5 times, only because I got the chart out and I kept filling it in. And so I just want you to think about that, you guys, and think about how just one person can change your entire business. And, you know, when I went to my first conference and how much it changed my life, I was sitting in the nosebleed section. I was sitting in the nosebleed section and I saw this girl speaking on stage. I had no idea who she was. And she was like, I was asked when I was getting my nails done. The girl sitting next to me asked me if I'd ever thought about doing this business. And she said, all I was trying to do is fill my steps to success. So I asked this lady to join the business, and she was Ambassador Diamond sitting on the stage telling her story. So next time you go to the nail salon, also don't forget to ask the lady next to you to join your team, just because she was trying to fill her steps, you guys. And so that's the power of it. And just thinking now, what if next month you get 3 distributors and they get their 3? Now you're halfway charted to diamond. And then the next month you've got 27 distributors on your team. Now you're charted for double diamond, and all you have to do is teach them how to get their shopping sprees. You get 150, 150, 150, 150. All of these bonuses are coming in. You're making commission off of your customers and theirs, depending on what level they're on. And before you know it, your ambassador, okay? Because it's the roadmap to success. And so that's just the power of it. And I just want y'all to think, I was talking to my team about this book. How many of y'all have seen me posting about this and talking about it so much? It's my current read right now. This book is incredible. And I went live about it in my team page, and there's so many things that, you know, we're like, okay, I'll just get to this goal and I'll just get to this goal. And you're looking at how many of you want to go diamond, drop a 1. If you're like, dude, $2,000 a month would change everything for me. That's why you're here. Okay, you're ultimately trying to go diamond because you get the license to print money when you promote to diamond. You get $80 cabs, $80 cabs, $80 cabs. And if you don't know what those are, text your upline and it'll push you to go diamond a little bit more. But, you know, we have all of these goals that we want to accomplish, and we get so caught up in the logistics of how far away they are. How many of y'all have done that? You set out on the first of the month and you're like, I'm freaking doing it. And then you get overwhelmed by how much volume you need, who's not working, what's falling apart, why your enrollments aren't where they are. It happens every time, but you have to understand that in that process of you going to that next promotion, it's the baby steps that matter most, because without them, you can't just jump to jump. That's why there's 9 promotions. You go to one, you got to go to the next. Well, there's going to be a long journey sometimes in between those. It took me 11 months to go from diamond to double. It took me, 3 months and then 3 months. And then it took me a year and a half to go ambassador, thinking that I was going to do it so fast. And I didn't. But I had to hit all of those failures in between. I had to go through all the struggles of leadership. I had to stretch. I had to figure out how to get my steps to success. And what Morgan said, turn around and teach other people to do the same thing, because I was trying to do it by myself. And so it says, to be the best, whether in sports or business or any other aspect of life, it's never enough to just get to the top. You have to stay there and then climb higher, because there's always someone right behind you trying to catch up. Most people are willing to settle for good enough, but if you want to be unstoppable, the words mean nothing to you. Being the best means engineering your life so you never stop until you get what you want, and then you keep going until you go after what's next. So set the goal of your steps to success every month and get out there and say, okay, how am I going to get these 3 distributors? Okay, how am I going to get these 6 customers? And you do those systems until every month it's just like the back of your hand. This is what I'm doing. Just like Claire did. She woke up on the last day and was like, shoot, it's not done. I need to figure out how to get this done. And she got it done because she set that intention. If she didn't print out her steps to success that month, she would not have completed it. And I can pretty much guarantee that, because that was what she was going after. It was non-negotiable. So Morgan and Claire, do y'all have anything that y'all want to add? I feel like we've covered everything, and I don't want to keep people here if we don't have anything else to say, but anything? Yeah. Okay.
I was just going to say, don't count yourself out. Like, I think that that's the biggest thing, is that so many of you are going to walk away from this Zoom being like, wow, that's so cool that they did that. But I want you to be like, wow, that's so cool. I can do that. Like, I want you to believe in yourself enough to know that you can do that, because if you can believe in other people, you can believe in yourself. And there's a quote that Mark shared with us at the last winter circle. And he said, there was this woman that was trying to climb this mountain. And for you, some of you, the steps of success look like a mountain that you can never climb. And you're like, holy cow, 6 customers and 3 distributors? No way, not me, not little old me. But I want you to believe in yourself, because here's the deal. She was trying to climb that mountain over and over and over again, and she kept failing. And for some of you, maybe you've tried to complete your steps every month and you just haven't yet. But people asked her in an interview, they said, why do you keep trying to climb this mountain? And she said, because the mountain never gets bigger. And every time that I fail, I learn and I grow. And I was like, that girl's going to climb a mountain one day, and I don't know when it's going to be, but she's going to get it. And I want you to be that girl. I want you to believe in yourself as much as you believe in that I don't know if that's like a real thing or like fictional, but believe in yourself as much as you believe in her. But know that you can climb this mountain and that it's not getting any bigger. You're getting better every single month. That you might miss that goal, you are getting better. And so even if you miss it this month, know that you gave it your best shot, and that's a really good feeling, and shoot for it again next month and turn around and help the people on your team, because you just never know who the next person you sign up is going to be. And it might be your next person that goes diamond or gets you to diamond. And it's so exciting to think about that. So I just wanted to remind you to count yourself in. Don't count yourself out. You spent too much time in your life counting yourself out, and it's gotten you here. Count yourself in. Try something different now and see if that helps. See if that changes something, and it gives you more confidence too. So I believe in you. I think all 3 of us believe in you. I know we all do. And if we believe in you, believe in yourself for 0.2 seconds and go out there and do the things that you want, because you're worthy of it. You are worth getting your steps of success done because of what it's going to do for your family, because of how it's going to change other families' lives. And you can do this. I believe in you.
Yep. And there's so many months along the way in these steps to success papers that I didn't complete it. That didn't define me. I didn't quit. I didn't throw my hands in and just say, this is over. Now look at where it got me, because of all those times that I had to pivot and grow. And it's in the moments where you do struggle the most, and when you do fall short, that you become the best. You don't become the best when you hit the top. I can tell you that the moment I went ambassador, I didn't change. I didn't get better. I got better in the process of trying to figure out, how the heck do I go ambassador? How the heck am I going to go Ruby? Those are the moments that define me the most, and that made me into the leader that I am and put me into the position that I'm in today. And so thank you all so much for hopping on here. I hope that this, series that we did was just everything that you needed. You know how to enroll customers, you know how to get distributors, and now you're going to focus on duplicating this within your organization. And I hope that it was everything that you needed. And I will talk to y'all on our next training. Bye guys. Good night.